This is Shifting Our Schools podcast, a special episode and day one reflection from NCCE 2020.
Listen up, educators. Are you looking to take your classroom to the next level? The technological shift in education is happening right now. If you're looking to integrate technology into your classroom, you're in the right place. Welcome to Shifting Our Schools with your host, Jeff Udick.
All right, gentlemen. End of day one at NCCE. Big takeaways.
I was just sitting in a couple sessions where one, they were talking about tech learning walks, and the other one, I don't even think it wasn't really even the point of the session, but they showed this video of these teachers reflecting on how they were integrating technology in their classroom, and it just struck me like both of those were really good examples. And even hearing Enumclaw talk about it, like they were blogging and sharing out, but like the most important piece to start with is like our teachers sharing and being vulnerable and being willing to communicate, because it's one thing for a tech coach or an administrator to come in and say, look at this new thing you should try. It's another thing to be like, my neighbor is doing this awesome thing and they were just sharing about it and I want to do it now too. So like,
that's cool.
That's my big takeaway from today for sure.
That's cool.
I'd add on to that, or connect to the vulnerability thing. I saw that coming out as a theme in my CS First session, where folks were kind of really getting behind that idea that I could do this tomorrow in my classroom, even though I don't know how to code, because I think more and more people are talking about the fact that the teacher's job is to facilitate learning and not be a computer science, expert or whatever. Like if your machine's not turning on, maybe the girl sitting next to you can help you out because she's turned it on before. And she might be our tech expert. And I just felt like that really was coming out. Like I'm not, because I was teaching coding, which is difficult for folks that don't have any of that background, but we want that in our third graders' hands and our fourth graders' hands. So it was cool to see people be like, I could do this because I could give the ownership over to them to solve the problems that might arise.
That's cool. How many people came to that session?
I think we had 22.
Oh, that's nice. That's
awesome.
really good for a CS First kind of lesson. Like people, I don't know if people really know what that resource is. Can you kind of talk about that?
And that it's so that it's free for one.
For
right?
one,
and that it is something that would allow you to essentially be the substitute in your own classroom, because the students are going to learn through videos to code a project. So the one we did with teachers today was animate your name. So you got to learn how to get your name spelled out there, and then you make the letters whirl around or jump up and down or dance or whatever.
And all of that's code.
And all of that's code, so they can see both sides of it. But they learn it through watching the video. And then I think one of the biggest beautiful pieces about it is that nobody's following the same path. I mean, we all logged into Scratch and the CS First curriculum, but then some people wanted to make it spin, and some people wanted to make it bounce. Some people wanted to first focus on the background that they're going to use because they don't want to do the coding yet until they get it all perfect and pretty. But all of it was learning.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I love that. How about you, Chris?
I think, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but that same kind of concept, and I really like what Patrick was just saying about everybody kind of going on their own path. It feels like over the course of the last 4 or 5 years coming to these various tech conferences, NCC in particular, that it's moved past just how do I use this app and I'm going to do it just like you show me how to do it, into this is just one of many tools, and as a teacher I'm going to learn how to use it, but I'm going to learn how to use it in a really cool way with my kids. It's not just about the app, it's about the learning. It feels like there's been kind of a shift move in that direction, which I think is nice. That's something I know we've always talked about, and I feel strongly about. I just had a conversation with a teacher. I was working with a teacher the other day about that, about he's had some health issues. He's coming back into the classroom and is kind of lost. It's a multimedia class, and we kind of worked out basically the rest of the school year, planned out the rest of the school year, but was talking about, okay, you're going to teach the kids fundamentals, foundational skills, fundamentals. I equated it to sports. You're going to teach them fundamentals, But where they go with those fundamentals in these apps, they're going to take it where they want to go, just like you were talking about in that session. Maybe they want to make it spin, maybe they want to do this. But if they have those fundamental skills, then they can go their own direction with it.
That's cool.
I think that's where it feels like it's been going to.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I shared out that link that you commented on Twitter about will robots take my job?
Yeah.
.org.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Way
before?
too much fun with that.
So that was it came out of one of the sessions I was in, where the session was called Future is Now, and she was just going through all of the things that are already happening. Like, we already have, bendable screens are here. They still break, but they're here. Like, they're going to be. The idea of drones and how many jobs are open just in the drone field. So her pushback was, if your school doesn't have a drone academy, or is that not a CTE program, you're missing the boat. Like, these kids want to fly drones, and we need people to know how to fly drones. Like, Amazon's going to be hiring, and I forget what the number is, like hundreds of thousands of drone delivery people who have to fly these drones to deliver goods all over the place. Right? But the website, Will a Robot Replace My Job, is tied to the U.S. Census data, and you can type in any job. So you type in lawyer and hit enter, and it'll say 97% probability your job's doomed by robots. And it actually says you're doomed. Or it'll say, like, you type in teacher on the other end, you type on teacher, and teacher is actually up 0.08. And so it's like, you are like diamonds. We're always going to need teachers. That is not a job a robot is going to replace, because we're going to need more highly skilled people. And the only way we still know we don't have robots that are really good at teaching people yet. It's still people needing to teach people the skills that people need to get these jobs. Yeah. But it was really fun to put in some different things to be like, well, what's going to go on here? And it's just like, you're doomed. Semi-truck driver, they figure 5 to 7 years. And then that's like, trucks, you're doomed. It was just really cool to see some of these jobs that were in there. But it's a fun website. You can play with it. Get lost in there for a while.
I will be on there for a while.
Yeah. It's pulled from Census data.
I'm thinking about the teacher piece there, and how much that kind of connects to the idea as teacher, as coach and facilitator, because, I mean, if it was just having content knowledge, it would be replaced.
Correct.
But when you, as a teacher, need to know, your 30 students, so that you can help know what they're passionate about, what their interests are, how they learn, and help them to find a path or get unstuck or to get to that end goal. Yeah, I don't see that being replaced.
Yeah, no, yeah. And another thing that she shared out of it was, this generation is going to have 5 different careers, not 5 different jobs, but like 5 individual careers. And so her question to everybody was, how do you prepare someone for 5 different careers? And she was talking about, she was from Texas, and she said, we always knew that if you didn't go on to university in our town of Texas, you could either work at the McDonald's, because that's what we tell, you work at McDonald's, or you could work at Walmart. And then she has pictures of Walmart is now replacing the janitor. She's like, this is one of my ex-students. He's a janitor at Walmart, or was, until the robot came and took his job. So you're looking at that idea of just a high school diploma isn't enough anymore. And we've seen those statistics come out. Like it's something right now in the state of Washington. It's something like 72% of all job openings have to have some kind of post high school diploma degree. And so preparing kids for everything, understanding kids, understanding how learning happens, is going to be a critical skill, that human connection piece.
And it's almost like the most important piece at this point is to embrace uncomfortability. Whether it's jobs, like we don't know what jobs kids are going to have, and so we can either say, let's prepare them for the ones we know, or like, we don't know, so what do we need to do? Yeah. And even in teaching, like content, and really like the world is changing so quickly, we don't know where it's going, so we can't say, I'm an expert in content, I understand it fully. Now we have to say, things are changing so fast. I'm an expert facilitator, coach, however we want to phrase it.
And helping you make meaning of the information coming at you.
Yeah, I don't know the internet, but I can help you make meaning of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Cool. Tomorrow, Patrick, what do you have on tap?
Well, I'm really excited about my session called The Truth About Screen Time.
And I've seen this. It's really good.
I'm excited for it.
I'm excited. We get all these alarmist headlines and things about how the internet or technology is destroying a generation. And, well, it will if we all keep liking that on Facebook and resharing instead of doing something about it.
I love that.
So this will be one of those kind of mindset sort of things. I'm going to share a lot of the research from Pew and Common Sense and Dana Boyd and Devorah Heitner and Anya Kamenetz, and kind of try to round all that up with, but what can we do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Patrick has so many stats in his mind right now. If you really want to mess with him, just come up to him and say, 42%. Just start throwing numbers at him. He's got this thing. He's been working on this thing for a while. I'm excited.
And it's actually gamified tomorrow, so we'll be working in partners and trying to answer the questions before I kind of give the answer. And that 42% is not one of the answers. That wasn't the clue.
The answer to everything, 42%.
Do you have another one tomorrow, or is that it?
I'm also doing virtual field trips and creating immersive tours. So
awesome.
First we'll take people on a tour and immerse them in a virtual field trip, but then we'll build our own.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Your presentation is tomorrow or Friday?
It's Friday. I get to soak up all the learning tomorrow, and then Friday, 10:30, I'll talk about engaging digital natives in meaningful work. And it's really just 3 shifts that I'll focus on.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. I like that. I'm excited. I don't know what mine are tomorrow. Creating presentations that work is the workshop. That's a 2-hour workshop that's full. And the other one, anybody know? I really don't know what it is. It is, I don't remember. You have to look at the schedule. I don't know what it is. So anyways,
it's on there.
It's on there. It's
Look
on
for
the
his
schedule.
name.
It's on the schedule. I'll worry about it tonight. It's a 15-minute thing, so I'll probably have it planned. But anyways, cool. All right. First day wrap of NCCE. Woohoo.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Shifting Our Schools with your host, Jeff Udick. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit sospodcast.org, facebook.com/Jeff Udick, and on Twitter @JUdick. If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a review and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time on Shifting Our Schools.